Hi. So this is all the first week of filming. How did you think the first week went?
From the producer side of things, it was a bit of mayhem because no matter what, in your first week, you are working out what the big kinks are going to be for the rest of the shoot, and a lot of it is relationships with people and how new people that you hire on set work.
We still had we were still casting some of the roles that weren't playing until the last week.
We were still finding locations. We were still finding wardrobe. We were deciding big art things. There's a lot of things that were still being worked out.
I totally had stage fright going into day one. Like, I just remember at one point being like, I don't even remember how this works. Like, what do people say? I totally blanked. And then it was just like riding a bike or something. What are we doing?
We're about to go to the airport.
All right, 1, 2, 3, go.
Do you know what our first shot is?
Oh man, I can't watch this.
The wide from behind as we're walking towards the tree line?
That's correct.
Woo-hoo!
All right.
I know what the first shot is, and then I'm screwed.
So this was us driving to set, and I don't know how early it was. It's probably pretty early.
It was like 6 a.m. at least.
Yeah, and it was so dark because it was the winter, and we were driving out to the middle of nowhere. I was just horrified. I was just going into battle. Like, it was so scary. Especially because I knew that first day was going to be really, really hard.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Are you happy? So happy.
That was such a nightmare shooting in this little area. I really regret having this be the first thing that we shot. We didn't have fresh snow. So all the plans that Ryan and I had and all of our shot lists and stuff were just basically thrown out the window as soon as we got there. I looked calm, but no.
Don't do it.
Andrew was such a jokester this morning.
This makes me so happy to see this crew again.
Daniel Vella was so great.
He was so good.
Him and Steven were very easy to bond with early on. Haas looks great in the snow though.
No.
Yeah, go Miles with his makeshift grip sled.
Miles is a genius.
Such a genius.
Getting shots of all of us falling into the snow.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we couldn't even do like a blocking or a rehearsal of anything on this day. We basically took Ryan's prized laser pointer and we would point it at basically at Annalise's mark, and we'd say, you got to get there, no blocking, no rehearsal. And then I'd turn to Ryan, the first day C, and be like, no focus marks for you, just good luck.
And thirdly, the paths, if there is not a path already in existence, do not make your own, because we are trying to preserve as much pristine snow as possible. You have to go through me or Ryan.
There's so much stuff in here that I just never got to see.
4.1, take 1, marker.
It's the very first shot. The very first take. If I was to do that walk she just did through the snow, I wouldn't make it. Like, your legs have to be so strong to get through that.
Yeah. I think this is a funny way to start a shoot too, because it's so like guerrilla style. It's so like bare bones. What's with every sound guy ever being called James?
James and James. Sound. I don't know.
Oh God, this crew is so fun. Oh, now we're getting into the emotional stuff. This was like the first of many times I made Annalise cry.
One of my favorite things was Annalise and Monique's relationship. Like, their friendship was so this lovely, like, blooming thing immediately.
There were a number of times where I just kind of let Ryan
Be Ryan.
be Ryan, because I was like, I know that there were many times that like Ryan totally saved my ass. Same with Jeremy, like the two of them together.
She like walks toward camera and then she like starfishes.
I remember this week being the week where I realized a lot of things about the situation that we were in. Anything that wasn't explicitly written in the script, we just were not going to get, because we could barely get what was in the script. I had a realization about my own sort of what I like to make is that it kind of has to be burned into the script for it to exist in the finished product.
Because that is your blueprint that you're handing over to the producers, the production designer, everybody. So if you're like at all imagining some tiny B-roll or montage type thing, like everything you can put on paper and be like, this is something we need to get, this is gonna be a plan, then everybody has that from the start and knows it's gonna be there. And it can't be cut by, your team of producers who are like, guys, we don't have time. Sorry.
I remember every day that there was a new cast member playing for the first time. It was just like it just felt like the first day all over again. It was just like, oh, like when will the new stuff end? I just want to get comfortable with like what I have. It's so good. The funny thing about casting Emma and Vernon, so when I actually met them, I was like, whoa, you guys are like really friendly, really humorous, like super huge jokers, which I didn't really expect from watching their tapes.
Just admit you don't like it.
Action.
Ramsey police say 16-year-old Isla Wallis was last seen 3 days ago.
Such a stoic lady.
Courtney did such a good job. Sad thing when you are a creative key on a shoot is that like lunch is never a break, ever. So this was the day that like I was like near vomiting all day. Like especially the convenience store, I would just like kind of walk to the edge of set and just be like. And I think it was when Ryan started getting sick. Ryan probably got sick this day because he didn't have snow pants on and he was soaking wet for half the day.
Yeah, it was really cold and it doesn't look it because everything melted.
Well, it's real snow, but it's clean snow. Because she's eating it.
Going to have one chance of climbing through that snow.
Oh, this was one of my favorite scenes that we shot. This was the moment where I was like, Annalise is a monster. Like, she is incredibly talented.
No. Are you good to go for the climbing in?
Like, the intent was that she was gonna start ripping the blanket, and then we were gonna kind of jump in, make some cuts on the blanket. But she just did it. Like, she just went up there and she just ripped the blanket.
Wow.
Oh, this is our like 30-minute take where we wanted to get as much of this sort of evening look as possible. And we just basically followed Annalise around this whole area.
Is someone there?
Yeah, Ryan was on fire during this.
Because Ryan was like, I need that out of the way. I'm going to do it myself.
The cab, yeah?
Luckily, Ryan was sort of a camera ninja, though.
Thanks for a great week 1, everybody.
Yay!
Thank you for a wonderful week
I'm
1.
alive
Let's
still
get out of
today.
here. Trailer thing? Sure. Yep.
We did a whole week. We did a whole week.
Go ahead.
I mean, obviously everyone was paid to be working on this shoot, but I still had this feeling of like embarrassed gratefulness that these people wanted to like help me. Because the thing is it's ultimately like my name that gets smacked on the end of this thing. You know, everyone else's name is there too, but it just feels like
you're a bit responsible for their experience.
Oh, totally. Yeah. And I want them to have a good time, and I want them to like me because I want them to
support your work.
Yeah.
You look great.
Thank you.
Hi, Devery.
Hey, Laura, did we do that really important thing?
It was done.
Oh my god. Production!
But everyone was so cool and so nice, and
it was honestly some of my favorite people indie from in Toronto. Miles and Stefan, and I love Monique.
Mo.
So many, and Chris Crane.
Chris
like
Crane.
Favorite.
Alrighty, pal. Okay, I'll talk to you later. I love you. Bye.
I just can't believe it. You look so much like your mom.
Why did you kill her?
Dead wife, it has to be the husband, right?
You're my father, and I deserve to know the truth.
I don't know who killed my mom. Maybe it was my dad. I just have to know.
They started disappearing 20 years ago. They were found in the wilderness days later. 9 girls.
What happened to Mom was random. Someone was using her to get to these girls.
Go home to your uncle before you dig up something that ought to stay buried.
If your mom's death is related to the others, walk very carefully.